What if World War II ended in a stalemate? In our own timeline, World War II is the biggest conflict of all time and would see the death of up to 85 million people. The Allies, led by the United States of America, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, would defeat the Axis, led by the Greater German Reich, Empire of Japan, and Kingdom of Italy. But what if that didn't happen? What if World War II ended in a stalemate? In this timeline, the February 26th incident in Japan escalates into a civil war between the militarists and anti-militarists. Germany and Italy support the militarists under Shiro Nonaka, while the UK and USA support the anti-militarists under Hirohito. During this civil war, the Japanese colonial empire collapses. The USSR retakes South Sakhalin and the Kuril Islands, Mongolia takes Mengjing, China takes Taiwan, and the United States occupy their mandate of former German colonies. Manchukuo declares independence and Qing forces capture Daejeon. The Korean Empire also declares independence. These two form a defensive pact with the US against China, the Soviets, and Japan. With the Japanese threat gone, the Second United Front isn't formed, and the Chinese nationalists conquer the Chinese Soviet Republic. In 1938, the Civil War ends and the anti-militarists win. Japan finds itself isolated as they cut all ties with the Axis, are rivals with the Soviets and China, and want their lands occupied by the US back. In 1939, the Second World War breaks out with Germany invading Poland. They still split it with the Soviets and then conquer Denmark, Norway, the Benelux, France, Yugoslavia, and Greece. In 1941, Germany launches Operation Barbarossa, but are defeated in Moscow, and in 1942 in Stalingrad. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom wins in East Africa and in El Alamein, but without Operation Torch failed to take over Libya. Without Japan joining World War II, UK has more troops against Germany, but the US never joins. Germany manages to win the Battle of Kursk, but it doesn't defeat the Soviets, but only slows down their advance. The war would continue as a bloody stalemate until 1946, when everyone was exhausted. Anthony Eden, Joachim von Ribbentrop, Vyacheslav Molotov, and Galeazzo Ciano meet in Genf to sign a peace treaty to end the war. The borders between Soviet Union on one hand and Reichskommissariat Ostland and Ukraine on the other is the Dnipro and Daugava River. Greece remains an Italian vassal state, but Yugoslavia stays independent, but with Germany, Italy, Hungary, and Bulgaria keeping the lands they annexed directly. Italy annexes Corsica, lands east of the Rhone River, and Tunisia, but loses East Africa to the United Kingdom and Ethiopian Empire. Spain, as a neutral power, occupies Morocco. Free France gets the rest of French Africa, Syria, and Indochina. The French state annexes lands in the north that were governed by Germany, but lands east of the Seine and Saône River become the Order State of Burgundy, which is a state run by the SS. They also annex Reichskommissariat Belgian in North Frankreich and southern Netherlands. Norway becomes independent, but Denmark stays under German rule. Free France would, however, quickly collapse with their colonies gaining independence. In the end, they only control Guyana. The Dutch have to grant Indonesia independence, meaning they only control Suriname. After the war, the world is divided into three. NATO in North America and Western Europe, the Axis in Central Europe, and Comintern in Eastern Europe and parts of East Asia. In 1949, Mussolini dies. He named Ciano to be his successor, but Umberto II and a few other Italian politicians couped him and were seeking an alliance with the US. Germany had none of that, and invaded Italy. Burgundy annexes all lands Italy got from France except for Corsica, while Germany annexes Adriatic littoral and Alpine foothills. Germany puppets the Hellenic state under Georgios Papadopoulos, Albanian kingdom under Mehdi Frashëri, and Italian Social Republic under Galeazzo Ciano. Libya declares independence, and Yugoslavia retakes Split. In 1952, Germany invades Switzerland. Burgundy annexes Romandie, Italy annexes Ticino, and Germany the rest. It was in this year when both the United Kingdom and German Reich developed their first nuke. In 1954, Germany formally annexes Bohemia and Moravia and the general government. In 1955, Hitler dies and Heinrich Himmler becomes Führer of Germany and incorporates Burgundy into Germany and annexes the Reichskommissariat Niederland. While Himmler is consolidating his power, Khrushchev uses this turbulent times in Germany to invade Ukraine. In the south, the Germans are pushes to the southern Bug River. Romania declared its neutrality in the conflict, but when the Soviets crossed the border, Romania switched sides, and even gave the Soviets Transnistria in order to stay independent. Yugoslavia and Romania forced Bulgaria to switch sides and push Hungary to the Danube. Germany then puppets the remnants of Hungary. Shortly later, Greece and Albania are liberated. Khrushchev, Eden and Eisenhower meet in Yalta, in which NATO agrees to join the war and to support the Soviets. In 1956, the Soviets launched the Daugava-Vistula offensive, in which Germany is pushed to the Vistula River. German forces are encircled in East Prussia. At the same time, Allies forces landed in Normandy and Brittany to take down Vichy France. Germany was quick to abandon its ally and forms a defensive line at the border. American forces also landed in Sicily. Himmler finally agreed for peace terms. Shepilov, Ribbentrop, Macmillan and Dulles meet in Paris to sign a peace treaty. Free France takes over the French state, and the Soviets retake Ostland, Ukraine and Transnistria. Romania retakes North Dobruja and North Transylvania. Yugoslavia retakes Bačka, Macedonia and Kosovo. Greece, which gets back Thrace, Albania, Hungary, Slovakia and Denmark, gain independence. Italy loses Corsica, but regains its independence. Germany only controls the lands they annex directly. In the 1960s, a German civil war breaks out between the Greater German Reich under Himmler and German Federal Republic under Ludwig Erhard. During this chaos, both France and the USSR launch an expedition into Germany. The Soviets retake East Galicia and Bialystok, while France regains almost all of its territories except for Alsace-Lorraine. Belgium and the Netherlands are liberated by the Allies, but need to be denazified. Italy retakes Trentino and Friuli, while Yugoslavia retakes Slovenia. Both Poland and Czechia gain independence, with Czechia reuniting with Slovakia into Czechoslovakia. Both countries would expel their ethnic German population. The democratic forces end up winning the civil war, but now have to denazify their own population. Germany and Poland join NATO, while Czechia becomes part of it through Czechoslovakia. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapses under Gorbachev and many countries gain independence. At the same time, Yugoslavia also collapses. China probably invades Mongolia now that the Soviets are gone. Germany is more militaristic than nowadays, and their military is on par with Russia. The European Union may not exist, but if it does, it would be under both economic and military dominance by Germany instead of France being the military power. In the 21st century, the Republic of China rises to power, and instead of Taiwan, they aim to retake Manchuria. The Russian invasion of Ukraine could end up even more disastrous, as Germany could send more supplies. In this timeline, Germany is the great power of mainland Europe, as their military is greater than that of France, and their economy greater than Japan. If you liked the episode, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.